Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Commissioner's Corner. Let's kick off our Commissioner's edition of In the Dugout. Hi to all our commissioners out there from across the country, and welcome to In the Dugout, our Commissioner's edition here for the month of January. We're really excited about doing a Commissioner's only edition here this evening. Our first two installments, one in October and one in December, got us going with both commissioners and local leagues. And we really want to say thank you to all the commissioners who have been filling out surveys after those first two webinars. It has really helped to shape the content that we are looking to put out for the commissioners, as well as what we're doing for the different local leagues. So tonight, joining me is some other members of our headquarters staff. I have with me Robert Faraday, who you all know as our Senior Vice President and National Commissioner for baseball. And I also have Daniella Bottoni. Daniella is actually going to be our acting National Softball Commissioner here for this season, filling in for Jess, who's out on medical leave. And then many of you know Daniella as a service representative for the Ohio Valley region, and even some who have dealt with the World Series in the past. Many teams have worked with Daniella in the lead up to prepare to go. Okay, so we're really excited about our edition here tonight, and we've wanted to kind of set up so that you guys all know as to how to ask questions. You'll notice at the bottom of your screen, when you take your mouse, there is a bottom bar on your screen that will have a section for questions and answers. That's going to be the area that if you have any questions, you want to go in there tonight. You don't want to use the chat. So questions and answers. And we're going to be getting started with some different items here shortly. And we'll have an opportunity to ask some questions during some certain segments of In the Dugout tonight. And then we'll also have some at the very end. We also want to make everybody aware that tonight's In the Dugout is being recorded. We will take it and along with the deck that we're going to be going over tonight, and we are going to be emailing it out to you early next week, where you'll have access to both the video as well as the deck in its entirety to use for your meetings. So with that, let's get started with some upcoming important dates that you should be aware of with the season now approaching. So as we're now heading through the middle part of January and beyond, which is hard to believe, January 31st is for those leagues that finished chartering for 2021. Their insurance, if they had Babe Ruth insurance for the 2021 season, it will expire on January 31st. Any leagues that have already chartered and paid, their insurance, if they are a returning league, will actually start on February 1st for the 2022 season. It's really important for all the leagues to understand that they really don't want to wait to charter until all of their teams are actually in and they know what their final team counts are. It's important that they go in, charter at least one major team in the different divisions, and go in, make payment, and at least lock the insurance in so that there's no gap in coverage. All right, so we suggest that each year. Many leagues do that opportunity, and they should be reminded that their ad drop window is all the way until July 1st to make any edits up or down to their charter counts. In the middle of February, around President's Day, is when we're anticipating that the league kits are going to start to go out to the leagues that have paid. The league kits this year are delayed a little bit just because some things are behind with the pandemic. And one of the supply chain issues that have kind of affected us here as it relates to the league kits is that the printers have been having difficulty getting paper to produce enough rule books for us to begin the process. So the middle of February is when league kits are anticipated to go out. Our next In the Dugout is going to be for local league officials and commissioners again. And that date will be February 16th. So 1 month from today on a Wednesday night at 8 o'clock again. A reminder will be going out to local leagues as well as to all our commissioners. You'll be able to register just as you did for this one. And we look forward to having you taking part in our next installment. And it's going to be important for those of you attending tonight to fill out the survey questions because it's going to help us with shaping the agenda for next month. One note that we also wanted to put out is for any of the commissioners, especially on the state commissioner side, who have not completed their commissioner certifications, which is updating all of the commissioners in your state, as well as your minutes to your meetings, rather. Couldn't say that twice. You want to make sure that that is forwarded to your league service representative so that we can make sure that you're updated on all the information that's coming. Any new commissioners that have joined or they changed email addresses or phone numbers, we want to make sure that they have the most current information out there. So with that, we're going to hit on some other points as you prepare for the coming season. As a commissioner, one of the things that you really want to do, and we talked about this even last year at this time of the year, is to reach out to league presidents. You want to take the opportunity to email or call your league presidents of record, find out if they're returning as a league president, find out what the status of the local league is, and any headwinds that they might be anticipating with getting up and running for the 2022 season. Of course, it gives you an opportunity to learn those details, and if there's things that they need assistance with, that you can maybe reach out to us here at headquarters to be able to also turn around and help. Now, we also want to remind you that if there are new league presidents that are coming in for a returning league, the process for them is to email their league service representative with their contact information, which contains basically their name, street address, city, state, zip, email, and phone numbers for contact information. The league service rep will take that email, make it part of the league record, so it is kept, and then we'll update the league's account and give that new president access to the local league. They don't need to call headquarters because we really want it in writing so that we can record it for the league's record. So each year we have different sponsor partners that we're going to be sending out new emails with to all of you and updating. We're going to cover some of them in the deck here tonight, but it's important for you to learn some of these different partners and things that they're offering for local leagues to make sure that the local league is up to speed on some of the new programs that are coming out for headquarters. We even have one sponsor partner that is actually working with local leagues directly and providing local sponsor dollars directly to some local leagues. So you don't want to miss out on the different items as it relates to different sponsors. If you, at any time you have any questions about different sponsor partners and you're unsure of the program, you're always welcome to contact me directly. Again, we talked about at the beginning, the insurance deadline for accident liability for the local league is coming up in 2 weeks on January 31st. Very important that the leagues understand that they do not want a gap in coverage. So if they're holding practices, tryouts, and other league-related items, they want to make sure that they go in and charter at least one major team, go in, do the charter. Our service representatives will review it. They will mark it commissioner approved. It will give them access to go in and make payment. Once they make payment, the local league will receive insurance the day after postmark, or if they're paying online, it would be the next business day. Our NUA signups for this year opened up on December 1st. So we have umpires that are already in there registering for the upcoming season. So if you are talking to any of your NUA member friends, they can go in there and sign up. Daniella, in a little bit, will be talking about the NUA to go over rates and different things that are coming for the season. This is a great time for the commissioners to order championship banners for the upcoming season. We are printing some of the banners now for the 2022 season, but those commissioners that typically order them, you can save $10 off of each banner if you order them with your league service representative by the end of the month. This doesn't require you to pay for them, as you maybe know from years past. What we want to do is we want to take your order, we want to work on the artwork, we're going to send you back a proof of the banners. Once you approve it, we'll go to production and find out where you would like the banners shipped to. So if you know which age groups that you're going to be doing and you know you're going to do the banners, but you may not have your funds available until later in the calendar year, that's fine. Get your order out of the way now while things are a little bit slower, and we'll make sure that these are processed in time and delivered to where you would like. We're going to go over some details of the background check program, the SAFE program here in a little bit, from sort of give you a recap of the 2021 season. But it is important, again, to work with the local leagues, that they understand that the background check and abuse prevention training is a requirement under Babe Ruth League. Our background check program has been in existence now under its new format since 2019. It is a very extensive check, and we ask that any leagues that are unable to do background checks through Babe Ruth League, that they need to contact us directly and receive a written waiver authorizing them to use either the local government or another service as we review their programs. We do know that there are local leagues that have either the county government, parish, or other local requirements from their local township that may require them to have to use their background check program. In those cases, we work with those local leagues and we'll provide a written waiver for the local league that we'll also keep in the league's record. And we'll go over some details on the SAFE program here shortly, and to talk about the bulk purchases and availability for the local leagues that wish to purchase background checks for their volunteers instead of the volunteers paying directly. Sports on a Play. Online player registration and local league websites are available through Sports Engine. Any leagues that are interested in learning more information about that, please pass them over to us. We'll send them off to Pete. Pete will work with the local league directly to get each individual league set up, and they will really find what a time savings it is for them with doing all of their information through the portal. It makes it a lot easier doing rosters, makes it a lot easier to do communication from the local league to the team members, all the way down for coaches communicating with their team through the mobile app. So there's different tools available for each local league that use that service. And then our last one here is our World Series invites. We have World Series invites available for the Babe Ruth Softball World Series, which covers 6 age groups, 8U to 18U. We also have the Cal Ripken Machine Pitch World Series, which is in Ocala, Florida. The 8-year-old Player Pitch Series, which is in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. The 9s and the 1170s, which is also held on the Treasure Coast. These Cal Ripken age groups are available for teams to participate, and they can sign up and begin to lock in their placement in these World Series actually starting today. And we'll have Daniella available here on this Zoom, in which she'll provide her information for those leagues to contact and teams so that we can get them in for those different events. The one thing that we figured it's going to take some time this evening is to go over some of the rule changes for the 2022 season. And with that, I'd like to bring on Robert and Daniella to go over the baseball and then softball rules. So Robert's going to kick it off first, and he'll take you through the different rules.
Hey, thanks, Rob. I want to start out by thanking everyone for your time tonight. I hope you're all safe and healthy and looking forward to a great 2022 season. We do have a Q&A opportunity here, but I do encourage you, anyone that has the need to maybe explain something further or have questions, you can always email me or call me, and we can certainly spend some time together. We'll start out with our first rule, 1102, on team composition for tournament play. These are tournament regulations. And realistically, and know this, very little has changed. You still start tournament play by submitting rosters, and a player, manager, or coach cannot appear on more than one tournament roster. It is our goal to have as many players have the opportunity to be a tournament player during the 22 season. And as always, the slight change that was made on 1102 team composition is that at no time is it permissible for a player, manager, or coach to appear on more than one active or participating tournament roster in the same year. So if 2 teams are playing, they cannot be on the same, be listed on rosters. This is in response to teams that have had the good fortune to win the region and get to the World Series, where potentially a player may not join the team. We also, please bear in mind, we did not change Rule 1103, meaning that in order to replace a player who cannot continue with the team, it is a waiver for the rules as we've always had. They've left the team of their own accord or had difficulties. That's going to be a league president requesting that through the chain of command and getting permission for that player to replace a player. We still are not allowing players to be added later in the same year. I know we'll have more questions on that, but again, we want a team that potentially has the good fortune of getting to, and we'll use this example, the Major 70 World Series in Branson. And they lost a player in between the tournament play from their region to the World Series. The difference now is instead of having to go back and find a 12-year-old who was not participating on a tournament team, very difficult to do since we still have the Major 60 and Major 70 tournament trail, they would be able to pick a player who is possibly not participating anymore from the Major 60 team or even the 11-year-old team if they're eliminated. Active and participating means that they have been fully eliminated from tournament play and not also planning on being at one of our invitational World Series. That's an active roster. Again, very little has changed. We want as many players as possible to participate, but should a league president and a team have trouble filling those spots, here's a new way for them to find players to make sure that they have the chance to continue on the tournament trail and participate. We'll move on. We have eliminated the note on 1105, playing rules number 4, the note that has disallowed players from pitching in 3 consecutive days. Okay, that's been deleted. No pitcher shall appear in a tournament pitcher for 3 consecutive days. That's eliminated. We have not changed the numbers on the pitch count. Only one rule in 1105 will be changed. We'll get to that. But if a pitcher has eligibility based on pitches thrown, they can throw whatever day that is. The next day, whether if they have not in the Cal Ripken, if they've thrown 39 pitches or less, or 40 pitches or less, and again, the same rules apply. You are allowed to pitch if you have pitching eligibility, and the 3-day rule is eliminated. It's as simple as I think we can make it. The one rule that, and we'll move on, Brandon, the one rule that will change in 1105 is strictly having to do with 7 and 8-year-old pitchers. Because we're now allowing them to pitch in that 3rd day, that rule has been upgraded to allow no pitcher is allowed to pitch in more than 6 innings in a day or a total of 6 innings in 2 successive days. If a pitcher pitches in 6 innings in a day, the pitcher must have 1 calendar day's rest, not 24 hours, 1 calendar day. If the pitcher pitches in a total of 6 innings in 2 successive days, the pitcher must have 1 calendar day rest. Again, not 24 hours. That's the only rule that is significantly changed. The other 1105 rule was just an elimination of that 3rd day. Then we can move on. In a continuing effort to make sure that the teams that are in Babe Ruth League have as many opportunities to play in our tournament trail, we are changing the rule for host teams who are hosting regional tournaments in particular, that they would be able to start at the district level if district play is involved. So if you're a host team, you have the right to play down in the district tournament and the state tournament. This is at the discretion of the league president. If he feels it's not in the best interest for their teams to go on, that's up to them. That will be between the state commissioner, the league president, to make sure that everybody's on the same page on this. But again, rather than go play in a weekend tournament someplace else, they can participate in the Babe Ruth tournament trail. I think that'll be pretty easily handled moving forward. Okay. We have no longer will have the host family program. All we did was delete something out of the rule book that will no longer be used. We have not used it for a while, and obviously in softball, Cal Ripken or Babe Ruth 13-15. We're very fortunate to have this program for 70 years of Babe Ruth League, and it really did a lot of positive things. I could talk very, very glowingly about what it did for our players, our communities, but it's a different time, a different world, and we will no longer have host families. Brandon? A little bit of the same thing where we're deleting something, not a major rule change. We're deleting the cap emblem as being eligible in the World Series, but this is in response to the fact that Babe Ruth Lake is offering our World Series teams full uniforms, including caps, that will have the patching and logos on them. So it was no longer needed in the rule book. Simple elimination of that. And for our state commissioners, we're asking that you send us the annual state dues or any charges that are going to be charged to teams so that we can start get a better feel of where teams are paying, what we're doing in the states. This would coincide with a commissioner being fully certified by us, having the election, establishing that minutes and election was taking place, and submitting a financial report. It will be for a 2-year period to coincide with the state commissioner's term of office. So once you have had your election and submitted the state financials, we just ask that you send in what you're doing and you'll get written approval out of our office. This happens sometimes, and realistically, what we've done is eliminate the number of $5 out of the book because leagues have read $5 and some states are charging $7 and doing good work with that money. So we want to make sure that we're being fair to everyone as we move forward in this. That's it for the baseball rules. I encourage you to reach out to us and give me a call or email us, and we'll have a further discussion on the who, what, why, and where. It's my good pleasure to introduce a Babe Ruth headquarters staff member, a very valuable part of our team, our acting softball commissioner, and really a good person, Daniella, but Tony. Daniella?
Thanks, Robert. Good evening, everyone. For softball, Brandon, you want to get that up? No pitcher shall attach to her glove any foreign material of a different color from her glove. The pitcher may wear her batting glove on her non-pitching hand under her pitcher's glove, provided the batting glove is not optic yellow. So we've eliminated in the past, you could not wear a white, gray, or optic yellow glove batting glove under your pitcher's glove. Now you can it's optic yellow is not allowed. A yellow softball is used across the board. So that's the only color that's not allowed with a pitcher. And that's it for softball.
Okay, thank you, Danielle and Robert. Again, I remind everybody, if you have any questions at the bottom of the screen, you'll see a Q&A section. You can type in questions throughout the webinar. Some of them we'll be able to answer directly through our back and forth here, or we'll be able to do it typing back certain answers through the chat feature tonight. So one question, I'll bring Robert back on. Robert, one of the questions that came in to kind of expound on here a little bit is for tournament play, if the player or coach that they could play on the tournament team if the first tournament team that they were on was eliminated. So they're asking is as long as that team was eliminated that they were originally on and now they're added to another tournament team, are they permitted to turn around and play under this rule that you covered?
Okay, so what they become is eligible to be considered because they are eliminated. There's no further trail. That if one of the other teams that is competing through tournament play loses a player as per the rule 1103, that they would now be able to be considered as a player to replace that player who left because they are eliminated from tournament play. Again, what we found was when asking a team to try and fill a roster spot or to replace a player, there was possibly no one available. I mean, in a lot of leagues, they took hopefully 24 to 30 12-year-olds out of their league to move on, and maybe they're 3-4 weeks away from the regular season. When the league president requests that, he is saying, hey, there's a player available here. They're no longer in tournament play. The team lost. Can I consider them? That answer would be yes. They're no longer active, participating. They've been eliminated. So we're going to try and give every opportunity for that team that is still active to be able to replace players and continue in the tournament trail.
Thank you, Robert. One of the other questions that came in was actually just an administrative one. Daniella's contact information is her name, DANIELA at baberuthleague.org is her email address. And you obviously can contact her, as with other members of the staff here, either on email or by calling the office between the hours of 9 and 5. So that was one of the questions that came in here. Along those lines, one of the other questions why I have you, Robert, that was brought in here was, can replacements be made mid-tournament or only between levels?
Only between levels. Again, 1103 has not changed. You may replace players between levels, not in the middle of a tournament.
Okay. Next one on this, we knew this one was going to be maybe popular here tonight, Robert. Does the rule apply to coaches from the team eliminated being a coach on a second team?
Yes, yes. Again, if a team's moving on, the coach cannot continue. This is why we truly encourage a team to put down as many players as possible, up to the 15-player limit in Cal Ripken and Babe Ruth, and take advantage of the 4 coaches. Now, we know that sometimes coaches have work commitments and what have you, and especially as a team continues and wants to move on and have to leave their community where it's not possible, we would be able to replace a coach who's no longer able to continue with the team from a coach who has been eliminated from another team. So that's a very important distinction, that any player, manager, or coach cannot, can be chosen as long as they're not active.
Okay, will the, Robert, the next one here, will there be a note in the rule book explaining the new active / participating replacement player rule?
Well, yes, the new rule will read active participating, in 1102. But again, nothing really has changed in terms of 1103, where again, this is a replacement player, not an additional player. You cannot be on 2 rosters that are participating. But if a team needs a replacement player later in the tournament trail, then a team in their league, a player who's certified as a local league player, also has appeared on rosters, would give that league more flexibility to continue on.
Okay.
All
right, Robert. I do have a question. If Daniella wants to come back for a second, I'll work with you on this one, Daniella. So obviously that rule change that you touched on and that the board voted on this past year was in reference to originally when the softball book was done back in the day. They had taken the baseball book and kind of carried it over, sort of took the word baseball out and put softball. So there was a lot of things that over time had to be kind of pulled out. So on the baseball side, we know that you can't have a white glove underneath the player's glove. So this rule was to address the batting glove being optic yellow and making sure that it wasn't optic yellow. The question that's coming in here is about the actual glove color. So along those same lines, you would agree that the actual glove cannot contain optic yellow either, I would assume, right?
Correct, yes.
Okay. So
it would blend in with the ball as a distraction, or no optic yellow glove.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Danielle. Okay. One of the next questions in here, actually I can take is World Series dates have been set. They are up on the website, and that is for all 17 age groups. So you're welcome to take a look at the website under the World Series part, and you'll be able to see the dates for the upcoming year. They also were published as social media channels as well, I believe about a month or so ago. Don't hold me to that, but I think it was at least a month ago. Robert, one more, can't let you go without.
I got it, Rob. I saw it came in, about coaches in a particular division. If a league president, let's just say a 13-15 league, his 13-year-old team has lost a coach and he needs to replace that coach, and the only coach available came out of the Cal Ripken division, we would have to work with them. That would require a waiver because that coach was not listed on a 13-15 roster. Now, we can work with them if that's a league president making that request through our chain of command to a state commissioner. Again, we're going to try and do everything we can to make sure teams move on, players move on, and have proper coaching. So currently you have to be within the division that you are coaching in during the regular season, during local league play. But again, come tournament time, come regional time, come World Series time, when a league president is trying to fill that roster and make sure that experience is right for his players, we will have some flexibility.
Okay, thank you, Robert. I think that we knocked out most of the questions and answers. If you don't see something that's been answered just yet, we'll go back in as we move along here. And then obviously we have some time at the end. So anybody that thinks of any questions regarding the rules or items that we're about to cover, by all means, again, go to the question and answer section, and we'll be able to record them and hopefully review them at the webinar, at the end of the webinar. So at this point, we're going to move on to these next areas. And I wanted to go over some of the new items that you are going to find for the coming season that are coming out. Our first is the launch of Babe Ruth Authentics. It is a signature line of uniforms for Babe Ruth League. And this is in response to be able to help local leagues manage ordering uniforms for both local league play and for tournament play with the proper patches or proper sublimated marks, just to make it easier for them. And also working with our other partners to help the local leagues have a one-stop shop to be able to purchase uniforms, baseballs, softballs, and other related items for the season. We have a great gentleman here on our team, Rob Kaufman, who's going to be the national sales manager, and his information is there listed on the screen. And Rob is a great guy. He has worked for Rock Team Sports. Now he's worked with other partners in the past that we've had an opportunity to work with Rob. Just a great guy. He's already helped several leagues out this season with getting up and running and dealing with the supply chain problems that are out there for local leagues. And we're going to ask that local leagues really not wait to work on their uniforms this year. The supply chain issues are a problem in different parts, from uniforms to playing equipment. And Rob will help the local leagues navigate all of that. So that's our Babe Ruth Authentics. And as commissioners, you'll be seeing more information coming. Our next is that we have 3 new items that we're really excited about. The first one is really entering our second year for this program, is the player recognition for Heart of the Babe. It was a great program. It didn't cost the local league anything other than the time to go in and nominate a player or players from their program or team. And they were able to print a certificate, and they were eligible for this recognition of Heart of the Babe. We had over 700 players nominated for this award and recognized. And they also received a special promotion for receiving this award, that they were able to get a special keepsake printed canvas print with our partners with CMD Graphics. So it was a great way to be able to provide something at year's end that the local league, all they had to do was nominate a player or players. And the league came out really good with a nice printed certificate that they could present to the player, and also the coupon for them to be able to purchase that special item that was a one of a kind for those players that received that. In addition, we did honor the players that won the Heart of the Babe Award at the Babe Ruth Experience at some of our World Series venues. And we actually have that set display up here at headquarters in New Jersey for this year. So those players that were nominated, their name is actually inside here on the Heart of the Babe wall. Our next is that many of you have probably gone to the national website and have started to see a new and exciting look. The new website was slowly rolled out in the month of December, and we are still in the process of going through and updating certain sections and trying to make it more current and make it more user-friendly to people. Our other objective with the website, as we go to revamp some of the content, is actually to have the website where it's something that changes on a regular basis, that people can go and get the latest information about the upcoming season, about different things from all the different points of view, whether it's a player, a coach, league official, to umpires and commissioners. So the new look of our website is really exciting. And you'll see as you go through the different pages that you'll start to see a lot more player photos that we've obtained from our partners at Glossy Finish, to even the photo shoot that we did last year at for opening day, sponsored by Dick's Sporting Goods. So you'll see a lot of player content on the website. So we're really excited about it. Our next thing I wanted to actually highlight here was the toolkit, the promotional toolkit for local leagues. And I want to cite this as a great example of where the feedback from these webinars, the first two that we did, the feedback that we were getting from the league officials and some of the commissioners really led to us stopping, working on this, and putting this together. So we're going to be putting this in the league portal for leagues, and it gives them access to branded content pieces that they're going to be able to take and use to help promote their local league in their local area. So they'll be able to take these pieces of artwork, they'll be able to update them with their league's personal information as far as league's website, phone numbers, contact information, any special dates, and they'll be able to print lawn signs. They'll be able to do flyers for schools or other functions. They'll be able to take items and put it on their website or social media. So we've created them in the 3 main divisions for Cal Ripken, Babe Ruth Baseball, and Babe Ruth Softball. But again, this was a great team effort because it all came from the feedback that we were getting that local leagues needed more items at their disposal to help promote their program locally. All right, Daniella, I'm going to turn back to you now to go through some of the next couple slides and some of the news information here. So Danielle.
Okay, thanks, Rob. All right, so here is a postcard that will be going out starting next week to all league presidents in our database from 2020 and 21. It's going to be the league and insurance guide. So you will be receiving that in the mail in the coming weeks. Okay, as Rob stated before, league kits will begin to go out mid-February due to the shortage of paper. As soon as we get our rule books in, league kits will start to go out. In your league kit will be a rule book for each team that you've chartered, plus a rule book for your league president and other materials. Those will be sent to the address we have on file for the league president, and they are sent via UPS. Okay, right here is our service representatives map. So last year, the service reps handled states versus handling specific regions. We did go back to regions this year. So based off of this map, you can see which representative handles which states. The service representatives are Marge, Colleen, myself, and Olena. You have our email addresses here on the screen. And again, mine is my first name, DANIELA @baberuthleague.org. So you can take a look at this map so you know which service rep you would go to for anything that you would need. Okay, so here are our World Series sites, our dates, locations. If you have anyone that's interested in attending one of the World Series, or if they would like more information about our World Series, you can have them contact me here at the office, and I'll provide them the information that they're looking for. Okay, here is the NUA. So as Rob mentioned, registration is now open for NUA members. The price does remain the same. So it's $65 for one sport, $85 for two. Insurance is included with your NUA registration. It's a supplemental insurance that covers you for Babe Ruth and non-Babe Ruth games. And we also have our jump program. Our jump program is for umpires who are 17 years of age and younger. For those, for the jump membership, it's $35 for one and $55 for both. And for the jump membership, they do not get the insurance. So for 17 and younger, they do not get that supplemental insurance. It's only for our regular NUA registrations. Your NUA kits will go out once our rule books arrive here at headquarters. We are doing the personalized coins again this year. So as long as you register before February 28th, you will get that personalized coin in your NUA kit. Okay, and Rob touched on this before, the banners. So you can place your banner by contacting your service rep here at headquarters. Proofs will be sent to you for approval. Once we have your approval back, it'll go to print. You'll provide an address to us. And like Rob mentioned before, you don't have to pay right away. We can invoice you later on in the season. So get these orders in as soon as you can. Just don't delay, and they're $60 a piece right now. And I'm going to turn it back over to Rob so he can talk about our SAFE program.
Okay. Thanks, Danielle. I appreciate it. Okay, so let's recap the safety awareness program this year with background checks and abuse prevention training. I want to give you some of the stats and talk about the program a little bit. This past year for the 2021 season, 43,471 individuals background check screens were completed through the system. Of that total, 199 individuals failed their background checks and were removed from participation in the local Babe Ruth League program. As you can take a look at, that is now 401 individuals have been disqualified from participating in the program because of the contents that were on their background checks going back to the 2019 season. I can tell you, as I've talked about in some of the regional meetings, and we talked last year, it is frankly amazing at times, some of the things that are found on these background checks. And I at times question, why do they fill them out if they know that they have this? And I really truly believe that some of the individuals believe that they have filled out other background checks for other programs, other sports, and they have gotten through. But because how thorough this background check is, it is picking up everything. This past year, the one background check that went back the furthest was someone convicted of a crime going back to 1980 was recorded. So the process for background checks has not changed. We do have this graphic up on our website as well. So the process is that the candidate or volunteer will go in, sign up for the background check, provide their information. NCSI, which is Sports Engine, will review the background check information and the candidate, and if everything is fine, it will pass, and everything is great and they're good to go. They'll be notified of a pass, and they'll show up in the league's list as approved for the season. If they do get flagged, it comes here to headquarters where we review it. We review based on using standards with the National Council of Youth Sports, and we'll decide whether or not if we're going to pass or fail. If we pass, the individual will be notified of the pass, and again, the league president is also notified that the person has passed. If they fail, the league president is sent an email notifying them that the individual has failed and to remove the person. And it also provides with them an appeal process if the local league wishes to do it. At the same time, the system notifies the candidate that they have failed and gives them the opportunity to make any adjustments that they feel are warranted on the screen that was done for them. At that particular point, if the local league decides to take up an appeal, we will deal with the local league individually with the league president, and we do not deal with the individual people who are screened. We will only work with the league president on how to do these steps. And actually, after now these past, 3 seasons, still counting 2020, it actually is working very smooth. And local leagues, especially when they have people that get flagged and end up failing, they've actually been responding very, very grateful at the fact that they're not the ones that have to tell the individual that they failed, and that Babe Ruth League is actually telling them through the system. If you have any questions regarding background checks, and then leagues have any items that they may have, they're unsure of where to go, what to do, Pat, who many of you have met previously, is our assigned representative. Pat will work with the individual local leagues to make sure that they are set up for anything that they potentially need. There is an option for a local league. Not many leagues do, but there are still some that wish to buy the background checks for the volunteers. And in those cases, they're provided with a link. They go in and make the purchase, and then they are sent these basically what are coupon codes or discount codes to go in. They pass them off to their volunteers, and that discount code is good for the number of uses that they purchase. Other leagues, they just send their volunteers to go in and make the purchase themselves. As a reminder, the background checks are due every 2 years for coaches and volunteers. And the abuse prevention component of abuse prevention training component is part of the background check and is available for the coaches to review a second time if they're going in, because this is now going to be their third year coaching or fifth year coaching. They can go in and review the abuse prevention training as well. Okay, one of the things that we also wanted to cover here tonight with the commissioners was to talk about the data that comes off of the rosters and the communication that is available or not available because of what is on the rosters. And this really affects everybody from the local league down to the teams themselves, where the coach is trying to organize his players and parents on the team for practices and games, to the local league notifying them of different events or obligations that the local league has for the parents, up to you as commissioners that might be looking to reach out to the managers of teams that are going to be playing in your tournaments, to us at the World Series that are dealing with coaches that are there that we need to make sure that we communicate with coaches and parents in the items that are prepared for the World Series. Now, to give you an idea, the darker blue area here is the data that's collected off of the rosters. Those are email addresses that were provided as part of each of the rosters that were put in. So in 2021, you see that there were almost 344,000 email addresses that were tethered to individual team rosters in the system. Of that 344,000, just under 200,000 were actually unique and actually good email addresses. Now, when we say good, obviously you may not know if an email is good until something is sent, but there are other times that it's very clear that the email will not be good. And we'll show you some examples here on the next slide. So you can see on this particular graphic here, some of the more popular email addresses that are put in, N/A, to just being blank, to some of the other popular ones that they put in, to an individual that decided to make everybody's email in their league the same as theirs and put it in. This makes it very difficult, again, for all levels to be able to communicate different things, for us to communicate our brand, talk about Babe Ruth League down to the parents. We know that a lot of parents in this day and age have a lot of options to play baseball and softball. And sometimes we can't communicate directly to them because we don't have the proper information to actually get to them. And this also affects local leagues. Local leagues have a problem because they're not collecting the data in a proper form. So what we're asking for commissioners this year is to really work with local leagues to find out who are they using for online registration. If they're using online registration with Sports Engine, all of this data comes in properly. They don't really need to go through all the extra steps if they're using another platform for it. If they think that they got a better deal from another service, that's okay. I would just ask that they meet with Pete for 5 minutes, let them show Pete what they have, what they're using, and give Sports Engine the opportunity to show them what they have and whether or not they can be price competitive. Each league every year should review ways of trying to find ways of doing things better. And this is a prime example of that. The next thing that we would ask of the commissioners is that when you are reviewing rosters for the regular season, you might want to take a look at the column in the email now and take a look at what phone numbers they have and see if the data is actually correct or correct looking. Because if you're going to try to communicate with these managers and coaches for your different events, you're going to have problems trying to contact them if you don't have the current information. So this is something that we really want to focus on, because this is how we communicate our brand and our messaging to all our different people that are involved in our programs across the country. So Pete information is right there along with Pat. Pat handles a lot of the safety items, but Pete is available, his phone number, his email address. Simply reach out to him. If you have any problems or you would like for somebody at headquarters to be a part to help your local leagues in introducing Sports Engine to them, please just let us know. We'd be glad to help out in any way possible for that. And we also meet with Sports Engine once a week to review anything that's going on during the course of the season. So if there are things that you find that leagues are having a problem with, you can simply just let us know, and we add that to our communications with them in our weekly meetings. So we're going to find with the new website that we have updated several pieces to it. We're going to be directing you to the website to try to learn where different things are. Well, hopefully we made it easier with the new design and the search features that are now available on this new website. So a lot of commissioners and leagues ask for the age charts. And this is a great example of where you can go to the website, click on the players and coaches, umpires tab, and right underneath there, you'll find the baseball or softball age charts. So it's a great way. And I would ask that any of you who have not had the opportunity to peruse the website, please take some time to do so and see some of the content and where all the different things are for it. We have kept some of the structure still the same as we're still working on it. It is not a finished, complete product. It is a breathing, evolving communication tool. And it is something that we are trying to focus more and more on now here at headquarters with everybody on staff. Another great way is the coaching education program. You'll find that local leagues are going to be looking to where do I go for the coaching education program. This is a program that is run by Human Kinetics. This shows you where you find the link to access coaching education, and the local league or the coach can go to log in to either do the course or go back in and get their coaching certificate. To be clear, we do not hold the coaching certificates like we would hold rosters or we would hold certificates, for umpires, for example. That is through Human Kinetics site, and Human Kinetics will work through their customer support to help any coaches that need any items. So we always end with, it's hard to beat a person who never gives up. One of the Babe's famous and many quotes that he is known for over the years. And I can tell you that all of us here at headquarters, even though while some of us are still working remote at this time, everybody is working diligently at every level in order to prepare for the 2022 season. And we are here to assist in any way possible. So from Anthony in the back to our service representatives, to the rest of us on staff, we're available to assist our commissioners or local leagues. I know as an example, Rich Gross, our Missouri State Commissioner, sent in an email for a brand new league that was coming over from another program. He asked for assistance and on some different questions. And actually myself and Kim Krause, our CFO and corporate secretary, actually are assisting that local league with some of their nonprofit questions and standing up the local league on a business side of things. So it's that kind of team effort that goes a long way in showing the local leagues that it's very easy to get a hold of just about anybody here at headquarters. We're going to move to some questions and answers. And I know that as we were talking here that there were some questions that came in. So I'm going to try to buzz through some of them. So Babe Ruth Authentics at this particular time is for Cal Ripken and baseball only because of the fact that it does just Augusta products, from Russell to other products that Augusta Sportswear does. However, if a local league obviously needs softball, anybody who contacts us through the Authentics, Rob Kaufman will send them over to Decker Sports, and Decker will help assist the softball program with any uniform or equipment needs that they need. The the toolkit that we provided, we will post that in the commissioner's section, so you have access to that to be able to look at and to be able to send the local leagues. So that will be populating in your commissioner portal as we stand it up inside the local league portal here over the next week to 10 days. As far as the NUA logo, we are beginning to change the look and feel of NUA. We're beginning to really work on some things for our national umpires and our program. So you do see a new look. The old patches are still available. They still can be used. They're still available for purchase. The new patches will be coming out later in the year, in this calendar year. But we are beginning to phase in the new look, and some of the umpires will begin to see in the next couple of weeks that their certificates and ID cards will begin to start to have the new logo as well. Okay, one of the questions that also came in here is, do we have any thoughts on transitioning to e-credentials? This was something that we know that Colorado did. And Robert, don't want to put you on the spot, but I wasn't sure if you wanted to touch on that after you've talked with Lynn Kaufman about what they did and some of the things that we're doing?
Yeah, Lynn was very successful in a test pilot program, and we're going to continue some of that to see how it will play out. We have to look at our own letter of eligibility, consent for treatment forms. There's some things that we want to make sure we're covering you as volunteers, us as a business, and able to move this to an online format. I personally feel like we can get there, but until we can do it right, we're not there yet.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Robert. One of the questions about the new website, was it going to change your sign-in as a commissioner or local league or an umpire? No. The look and feel and the functionality of the national website does not impact the local league portal, commissioner portal, or umpire portal. So when they click on the login button, it's the same as last year. It will take you through the same steps. And if you logged in last year, everything is exactly the same inside those different portal sections. So you don't have to worry about anything else that's different. Anybody who raised their hand in the participant section, we would just ask that you put your questions inside the question and answer session, and we'll try to knock it out in that section for you. Okay. Okay, one of the other questions that's here is there a way for a parent to upload a birth certificate during online registration? There are ways for that to be done through Sports Engine, and that would be done when the local league sets up their individual process for online registration. Each local league can customize the requirements, fees, different things that they have for their individual league. So if they are looking for a specific document to be filled out or provided, that is something that they would be able to do as part of online registration. I know that as Robert touched on, the Midwest Plains is rolling out e-credentials this year, so they are giving it a shot, and that is something that we're going to continue to work on and develop here at headquarters. So with that, I am checking. I am splitting my eyes between screens here, just making sure that all of the questions that came in the question answer session, as well as going back to the chat, just in case anybody dropped in. It looks as if we have covered all of the questions that you have. If there are any questions that you have, when you do get the email, please feel free to reach out to Robert, Daniella, or myself, and we'll be glad to help you with any piece from the rules to the different things that we covered here tonight. Or maybe you were looking for us to cover something that wasn't covered, and we'll be able to turn around and be able to take some time to give you that information. And with that, I want to thank all of you for taking the time out of your busy schedule. We're looking forward to spring here in the New Jersey area, as the rest of the country is. We all can't wait to get on the field and hopefully get back to 2022 being a year of normal. I know that we were saying that last year, but hopefully 2022 is a little friendlier to us, and we hope that you guys are all prepared for the season ahead. I also want to thank Robert and Daniella for taking the time with me tonight to do this. And please remember that when we send you out the survey after this wraps up over the next couple days and we send you the link, please take the opportunity to put some feedback in. That feedback is helping to shape the different things that we're going to be doing. So you can have an impact on the items that we're doing here on headquarters with different ideas or different input. So I appreciate Robert and Daniella and the rest of the staff that helped to put this together tonight. And with that, from all of us here at headquarters, we're going to sign off and say thank you for being a part of In the Dugout, and we'll see you in February.